Hey, Maria. How you?
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you. Hey,
Yeah.
thanks for showing up. I wanted to invite you in just to have a chat because we've been spending so
Hmm.
many weeks together, months together, a year together, and we've been in
Wow.
such amazing focused creation time together that I
Hmm.
wanted to have a chat, because we where we started a year ago, compared to what we're doing now. Um, and we have leapt and bound into a future that I know that neither of us could see 1 year ago right now.
No,
And so I just wanted to kind of
for
throw the
sure.
bone and just say, why don't we just celebrate each other for a few minutes and talk a little bit about where we are and how we got here. Yeah. How you doing today, by the way?
Um, I'm feeling so grateful and thankful because thinking about 1 year ago, I could never imagine that today I will be doing all that I'm doing with you, uh, and then also with my own program and with my life in general. I
Yeah.
could never imagine that big change.
Yeah. Huge
So
change for both of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Monumental.
you. Thank you because a part of that is because of you.
Oh, thanks, love.
So
Well,
yeah,
and right back at you, like you've heard me say for a year, that we're stronger together than we'll ever be standing alone.
yeah, sure.
And there's a lot of reasons for that. One, we're having fun creating together, but two, we're presenting each other as experts in our field, and we are.
Mhm.
We're partnering and collaborating, and now we're content creating, and now we're serving the world in a way that we just couldn't even see a year ago. I know that's true for me.
No.
Like I've got my coaching practice going on, you've got yours, and now we have
Mhm.
ours. We have our own thing
Yeah,
where our circles have overlapped and our
yeah,
tribes are overlapping,
yeah.
we're both making some money, and that money is coming because we're also grounded in this new sense of creativity. We've stepped into
Mhm.
this new identity and we've said goodbye to an old identity,
Yeah.
and here we are on the other side of that awakening, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you today. And so to honor Lisa Nichols, one of our mentors and heroes, and talking a little bit about where we came from. So
Wow.
like 1 year ago, so I want to unpack that with you a little bit. Do you mind going on a little journey with me?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think my journey started somehow 5 years ago.
Yeah, me
At
too.
at that time, I thought that my life was perfect, and I realized that it was not. I was
Yeah.
living a lie,
Hmm.
uh, especially lying to myself.
Hmm.
Of course, I didn't see that at that time, but life was really hard to me at that time. I mean, I thought that it was like the universe was against me, something like that,
Hmm.
making my life so hard, so difficult. Um, and then I realized that maybe it's another way of living. Maybe I can do something about that. Maybe
Hmm.
it's not the world against me. Um,
Right.
Maybe the world is not the problem. Let's say that.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe I can do something. Maybe I can change the perspective and
Right.
start um, creating, start
Sure.
choosing
Right. Exactly.
um,
You're talking about
the
you're talking about the awakening to the desire of something new.
yeah.
Right. Well, so
I
my story, like because I started in a very similar place. I thought I had made it. I had a job with a very successful big ballet company touring the world, and I was there for more than 20 years. And I thought
yeah.
I'd landed. I thought I'd made it, and I stopped dreaming past that moment. I stopped dreaming past that moment. And in my story, all of a sudden it's like I didn't know where I was going anymore, and I lost my inspiration about why I was there. And my colleagues also, because of some really poor management and some really dark negativity and some really, really chronic negativity all around. And then the corporate takeover of the arts also, where the suits and ties come in and kill creativity. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I have a mortgage and I have a life and I have all these things and I don't know how to get out of it. And I'm making just enough money to stay here, but not enough money to leave. And all of a sudden it was hard. I was suffering too. It's like, there has to be something else. And so in that journey for me, before I got to my awakening, like there has to be something better, like putting myself first. I tried some pretty epic things and failed gigantically. Like there's a chapter of my life called I Married a Mexican Movie Star and Opened a Bar in Mexico City. I lost a ton of money. I lost a ton of money. And it took me 3 years to recover. And during that recovery, I had to stay at the ballet and keep working with these and building my shield to protect myself every day. And that created sickness. That created some disease for me. That created some diagnosis inside of my culturescape.
Yeah.
Right. But of course, in that move, then the pandemic came, and that opportunity to say, okay, there's my awakening. There has to be something new. Putting myself first, my own spirit came out. This is Cory. Okay, it's time to go inward bound. Put your heart and yourself and your spirit first. And that's when my awakening started to like, okay, I'm going to really do this work now. And for years, I was on Mind Valley. I took every course in the world and I was studying it, but I wasn't applying it.
Yeah.
I was book smart, but I wasn't very street smart with my own spirit. Yeah. So that was, so I think we're both at like the world, we created this amazing, perfect life, we thought, and it got us here. But then there was this amazing opportunity to get really uncomfortable and allow change, to finally allow some change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
really uncomfortable. I like that.
So let's talk about that phase. Like, here, a little shout out to Vision Lakiani, like that awakening phase, when we leave the state of the world and say, wait a minute, this is the way the world is, but I'm here, but I see that. I choose that. I'm not there yet, but I can see it and I choose it. Right? What was that like for you?
I feel that I had kind of awakening when I started looking inside and doing this inner work that I thought it was nonsense. Who I am. Of course, I know who I am. I was so arrogant at that time. And once I started looking inside, I saw that, yes, there are more questions than answers. And then I discovered therapy, healing, and coaching. And I became therapist and healer myself. And then I jumped into the life coaching last year. But during some time, I was still lying to me. I was pretending to be a perfect healer, a perfect coach. And I say that I was lying to me because I was pretending to share this image with the world. And at the same time, I was pretending to help others before helping me. And I was pretending to help people to be authentic, to be real, and continue lying to me. So I think that especially this last month, with this dream intending work we are doing together, I discovered that the only way to live the life I love And the only way to dream and to thrive and to be successful is being authentic, being real.
Yes.
And
And
to be real
authentic and
means,
consistent at the same time.
yes, and also be real means to accept that there will be people that don't love me. And this was really difficult to accept.
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to love.
Yeah, me too.
It's like a need.
Mm-hmm.
I need everybody to love me and
Right.
understand that this is not possible.
Right. So I want to,
because
me too.
I heard that, but
Yeah.
one thing is hearing, listening, and the other is really understanding what does it mean.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit about, you mentioned the lying to yourself part, and part of me, like if we just switchcraft that around into, here we are, we're studying coaching and healing. And I was doing the same thing because I needed to heal myself.
Yeah.
And you teach best what you most need to learn. And so that, the act as if, let's pretend to be it so that we can become it. So I was doing kind of the same thing. When I first got my first certification with Magnetic Mind during the pandemic, I learned such incredible information, but I applied almost none of it at that time.
Yeah.
It was so great. I mean, so much of who I am as a coach now and what I offer came from that time. But I had to slow down after that and really apply the information, like to slow down and be, okay, Cory, be your own client, be your own coach, be your own client. Now do the work, go inward bound. And so that lie to myself, was, maybe in English, the lie to yourself has a real negative connotation. A lie is a bad thing. But also there's this holding up the illusion. I was in collusion with myself. And I was in illusion. And it was mandatory because it was survival. Because if I wasn't doing that, I was in a sinking ship. Right? That was my hope. That was my lifeline. I had to act as if, okay, that's what I want. That's who I'm becoming. And I have to grab on and best I know how, and then do my healing, to let the inward work happen, that awakening, the world that I'm choosing. I choose that. And now I've got to go get it. And to go get it, you got to learn it and then apply it.
Yeah.
Understand it and then become it. So that's part of this awakening phase. And then it's the recode phase. It's like, okay, now we've got some skills. Like I love, that when you and I discovered about each other, that we both have done family constellation work, and it is such good work. It is such good work. And then we add super conscious genius intuition in our coaching practice around it, because that's what that family constellation work is accessing that field of information. Okay, great. Yeah. Now we're recoding ourselves. With morning the repetition of morning routines. Repetition, the consistency of installing new habits. And what does that do? It breaks the old ones, the old thinking, the old stories, the old parts of ourselves. And man, I'm a different man today than I was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Holy cow, I'm a completely different man. I'm healthier now than I've ever been.
Yeah.
The entire time I was at the ballet, I had horrible, horrible acne. And I think it's because I was very unhappy there.
Yeah.
Very unhappy there. In fact, I contracted AIDS, HIV positive, and got full-blown AIDS, and I didn't even know what was going on. I was so sick because I was so unhappy. But then there was this, oh my gosh, I came back, the return to my own heart, and my healing began. And now, significantly further down that healing path, like I love that what you and I do in dream intending with our clients, with our loved ones, with our colleagues, about this new you, this new identity, and I love that we're talking about in our conversation today about saying goodbye to our old selves and saying hello to the new version of us, because it's not tomorrow, it's today, it's happening right now.
It's today.
It's happening right now. Yeah. You know, so talk about a little bit that recoding,
Yeah.
like the arrival. Mhm.
I think my biggest goal is to discover that my happiness and my fulfillment depends only on me. I mean, it's nothing external to wait for.
Mhm.
It's nothing external to solve anything. It's just me. It's just me. And this gave me um, not only the feeling of freedom, but also uh, is giving my power back. If my happiness depends on me, then it's my choice.
Mhm.
And that was so ah yeah really.
Mhm.
I could breathe when I discovered that. I
Yeah.
could breathe. It
Mhm.
was a big discovery and a big release.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Huge release, putting down
Yeah,
the load that we've been carrying for so long.
yeah,
And I love when we're suffering like that, we don't even know we're suffering because we've normalized the abnormal.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
again, we put focus outside, and
Mhm.
we see that the world around us is doing the same. So we feel that this is normal.
Yeah.
And yes, we normalize the abnormal.
And it is
That's true.
not normal,
No,
and it is not sustainable.
no,
Right. Now, this is
no.
when we say finally the world makes you uncomfortable enough to make a change.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes some of our colleagues and friends and family and loved ones really hit the bottom hard before they come back. You know, some
Yeah,
people arrive at cancer or car accidents or get fired or get divorced or major life disruption.
yeah,
But so let's talk about disruption for a minute, because sometimes that disruption doesn't need to be horrible, but it is still a disruption of your old self to create your new self. You know, the welcoming of that disruption, that incredible personal welcome surrender of the old self for the new self, the old identity that no
mm,
longer serves you, the old beliefs, the sabotaging beliefs that once kept you safe, all of these things that we've carried for so many
yeah,
years that created the essence of who we are. It was mandatory, it's essential, those are good things.
yeah,
But you arrive at a time to change those things because it's unsustainable.
yeah,
The
sure.
great thing about this work is that we can start to make changes significantly sooner than a tragedy or a firing or a negative, shocking disruption.
I feel I needed a big disruption, um, let's say in the negative way. I mean,
Mm.
in some months, a divorce. Uh, I lost my job. I lost my father, and it was like the beginning of my change. And also the last months, um, I felt another kind of disruption, and this time it was uh, quiet and peaceful, and at the same time, really profound, really deep one. And I was discovering, okay, there is something else. There is something else, and that's why I told you that my that the program we are doing together really helped me
Mhm.
to do the next step, the
Yeah.
step I needed to really show up to the world saying, this is me, this is my program, this is what I really want to do. I share with you, I think I share with you that my big dream is to spread love all around the world. But I needed something more concrete to start.
Right.
I was on that place saying, okay, the world really needs me, and I need the world to love me.
Mm-hmm.
And accepting that I have to start showing up with my true self, saying, this is me, this is the people I decided to work with, this is the people I feel I can help the most, because that was my story, that was me. And this was a big discovery for me. I think it's the first time in my life that I show up with my true self.
Welcome
in a
home.
big way.
Welcome home. Yeah.
And not only sharing that to my significant ones or to my neighbors, no. Showing up to the entire world, saying, this is me.
Me too. Me too. So, you're talking about the lenses process, like this dream harvesting tool.
Yeah.
Where you can take these 8 different perspectives of the life that we create, like who are we now, this new identity, the new you, so like the true choices, how do you live a life you love, your true health and vitality, your true nature and spirit, your predominant creator, your fulfillment, your family, your finances, all these different ways to look at ourselves and to make incredible choices about where the hell yes is. Not a maybe, or that's a good idea, or hopefully someday. No, it's a hell yes. Yeah.
It's a hell. Yeah, especially what really touches me was this part of the predominant creator.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I have the power to create my life. It's just me to do that. It's just me.
Yeah.
There's nothing
I
to
love
wait
that.
for.
I love that so much, because the predominant creator part of the lenses process, sure, when we step into owning our creativity, it's a wake up to remember that we already are.
Yeah.
We've never stopped doing that. We're not teaching creation in here. Every single one of us is already a master creator. It's really about, if we're manifesting what we're thinking about, what are you thinking about 75% of the day? Are you stuck in scarcity, fear, and your old story? Because that's what you're making more of. No matter what that incredible intention of healing or growing, or, but if you're still stuck in scarcity, you're going to make more scarcity. Because there's that switch.
Yeah.
Wonderful switchcraft. That's why I use that word in my practice so often, is then we go, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to spend 75% of my day in creation, not reaction.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here, is that we're surrendering our reactor and installing our creator. And that's where we're spending 75% of the day. The 25%, yeah, you want to know what you don't want just enough to turn around and go for it. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Saying no, you're saying yes, but let's give it a hell yes. So this is the world that we can change.
Yeah, I don't know if you realize that, but it happened to me that one day I decided to come back to the first pages of the lenses work and reading that again and saying, but I already achieved that.
Yeah.
So I am living the life that I love.
Yeah.
There are still some things to improve, but it's just improve. I already have that. And this daily work, this daily daydream is like a reminder that, yes, I have the power.
Yeah.
Yes, this only depends on me. And it's, for me, is the moment of the day I feel really more, let's say, connected to myself, at the same time empowered and happy,
Mhm.
because there's nothing outside that can, let's say, that can take away this happiness from me. And this is huge.
It is so good.
This is
Remember,
huge.
like way back when we were first starting talking about teaching this dream intending workshop, some of the original names were Dream Rescue, Reinstall the Daydream, like,
Yeah,
and I love some of those descriptions because that's exactly what we're doing. Reinstalling the power of the daydream, like the three dreams, the nighttime dream
yeah,
when we're asleep, then the waking dream of everybody here right now in real time. But the daydream is where you go when you're not here. And most of us are daydreaming about really negative or fearful or scarcity or lack or sabotaging things. But when we start to daydream about the inner child's ability to dream gigantically in the sandbox
yeah,
all day long with no limitations, which is usually all built in joy and play. Joy and play. And as adults, as we remember to return to choosing joy,
yeah,
choosing love, making true choices we make only because we love them, and being very skilled and practiced
yeah,
about talking about the things that we love. Most of us can
yeah,
talk about what's wrong with the world in ridiculous
yeah,
detail to no end with no rehearsal. But can you do that about what you're dreaming about to no end with no rehearsal in vivid detail? Most of us have forgotten how,
yeah.
including me. Like, man, I still work on practicing my creativity and my imagining.
Yeah, because we were not allowed to do that.
In fact, we're taught not to.
Yeah, it was losing time. Do you remember that?
I do.
We thought that daydreaming was losing time, was nonsense.
Right.
And in fact, there is nothing that has more sense than that.
Oh man, we were talking a couple of weeks ago, you and I, about um, what could possibly be more important than daydreaming
Nothing,
about your future.
nothing, nothing.
It is the most important thing of all. To
For
daydream
me,
who you're
is
becoming. Yeah.
yeah, is a non-negotiable now.
Isn't that amazing?
Is non-negotiable.
Right. From being taught not to daydream because it's a waste of time to
Yeah,
daydream and focus, right? Oh my gosh. The
yeah,
ability to focus on your daydreams is where the magic is.
yeah.
That's where the magic is, and so I just got to
And the
thank
magic
you. I
and
got
the
to thank
magic happens.
Yeah, because you and I found a similar magic together a year ago. You were coming to my groups and we were working together, and you took me up on my offer to collaborate. And now here we are in leadership with Dream Intending.
Yeah,
And not only that, we're not just the teachers and the leaders of this group. I love that you and I have stepped off the stage and sat down in the circle with everybody who's in this class with us, because we're doing the
yeah,
work too.
sure.
And the thing I just want to thank you so much, because getting naked and getting vulnerable and getting emotional and being in the light in front of our tribe has helped not only ourselves, you and I, and our friendship, but everybody who's in our circle went,
Yeah,
oh, we're not just in class learning, we're actually holding hands in a circle. We're growing together. And that is just the most powerful thing. It is the most powerful thing, that acknowledgement, that validation, that encouragement
uh,
to keep doing the work we're doing. Yeah.
but I feel that if we want to deeply connect with someone, the only way to do it is being vulnerable and authentic,
Getting honest,
honest.
transparent,
Yeah,
emotional. Yeah. There's nothing to hide. It creates such an amazing connection when we do that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Is the only way to create really deep connections with people.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited about what we're doing in Dream Intending. We just finished the first quarter of 4 this year. And we've got 3 more quarters coming up, and we're inviting new people in, and we get to keep practicing these skills together, and
Wow.
inviting our colleagues to step into leadership with us on this journey. And we're watching this ripple. We cast the first stone into the pond, and the ripple went, and it's going and going and going and going.
So Cory, imagine what we have already created in just 3 months.
Oh man.
And 2 months and a half. Imagine what can we create the next quarter.
Well, exactly. Well, and that's where this whole lens,
And
why we made a commitment to a year of the lenses process. Because at first we're clumsy with lenses. And you said it yourself a few minutes ago about, I did the lenses the first time, and then I realized I wasn't dreaming nearly big enough.
Yeah.
You know, and some of my colleagues from Magnetic Mind were like, be careful what you put on your lenses, because it comes true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's not,
so
not
take advantage of that and dream big.
To do this. Oh my God, I get to. My dreams are coming true. And this is the way to turn a thought into a thing. You know, we can take these fantastical ideas and put it through that process of lenses and turn it into a well-crafted foundation to build your cosmic house. And then from there, that, you know, the 3-month plan to the monthly plan to the weekly and then the daily plan of actually manifesting your dreams. That's what we're doing here. And I love so much the in our time together, personally, our friendship and our collaboration as partners and entrepreneurs, is that we're seeing that, we're experiencing that.
Yeah.
You know, money's coming in. We're building our coaching practices. We're in service to the world, because man, it happened to me. So I climb out of my story, stand on top of my story and say, here's my hand for those of you who are ready, grab on.
Yeah, sure.
You know, if I can leave the world a little bit better than I found it, sign me up. That's a legacy.
Please. Yeah.
That's our legacy. And what an amazing thing. Yeah. Well, Maria, any last thoughts on our little connection today?
Just say thank you again to all that we are doing together, to all that we are living and we are creating every day, because this is really huge. It's really powerful. Yeah, it's really life-changing.
You know, well, I look forward to the next time that we have a little catch-up call like this, maybe towards the end of the next quarter of Dream Intending, but especially after 1 whole year of Dream Intending.
Wow.
You know, to say, okay, this lenses process as we you know, we future pace. We're future pacing, and the quantum jump into those dreams to feel the emotion of the end result. Like, holy cow, think if we feel good, so excited today after the first 11 weeks, imagine 1 year from now. I'm imagining it.
Me too.
Yeah. Sweet.
Well, and feeling it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having a little social hour with me today, love. I adore you with my
Thanks to you. Me too.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a bit. You take care.
Thank you so much.